Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the evening, Troop 516 Senior Patrol Leader Jack Goldberg will begin our ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the flag ceremony. Troop 516, advance the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will Scout Matt Hurley please lead us in the Scout oath?
Thank you, Jack. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bill Mote. I'm a committee member for Troop 516, and I have the honor and privilege of being your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. On behalf of Stoughton Boy Scout Troop 516, I welcome you to this Eagle Court of Honor for Nathan Joseph Bodette. Our ceremony this evening is being held in the First United Methodist Church, which has sponsored Troop 516 for 63 years, since 1956. Troop 516 is grateful to Reverend Rebecca Cho, pastor of the First United Methodist Church, and to the church's Board of Trustees for their continued support of the troop's activities and for allowing us to meet here this evening. Welcome. We'd like to ask Reverend Rebecca Cho to come up and offer an opening prayer at this time, please.
And I have here with me Neil Gibbons, who is the chaplain aide for Troop 516. Let us pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this evening, and we thank you for the events that have brought us to this evening. Lord, we thank you for the many gifts that you have bestowed upon Nate, and the way in which he has used his gifts to serve your people. Lord, we pray that you would continue to give him even more gifts throughout his years, and that you would bless him with the wisdom for using his gifts to do good in this world, as he is already doing. Lord, we pray that you would bless this evening, bless all that happens tonight, and when it is time for us to go home, that you would send us home safely from this place, ready to do your work with our gifts. These things we pray in your name. Amen.
Thank you. To present awards for troop advancement and achievement since our last Court of Honor, we'd like to ask Scoutmaster Steve Commode to come forward at this time.
Good evening. Since our last Court of Honor, the Scouts have been working really hard between summer camp and with merit badge counselors to earn merit badges and advancing in ranks. So I'd like to call a few people up to help me call off their names. Former Scoutmaster Mark Rassicott. Former Scoutmaster Dave Graber. And committee member Gene Santorelli. Before they read their names, there's a few other scouts that I'd like to recognize. These are the new scouts in the troop. They just joined us last March, and they're very close to earning their first rank. And in the next month or two, they'll be starting to earn their own merit badge. But I want to make sure they do get recognized. When I call your name, if you can please stand. Andrew Carlson, Jonas Dietrichson, Liam Donovan, Brandon Friedis, Logan Hampton, Dominic Ayarati, Nicholas Perviati, and Evan Stone. Gentlemen, thank you for joining the troop. Look forward to seeing you guys receive your honor at the next Court of Honor. Thank you. I'd like to have Mr. Graber, if he could please start.
Joshua Lyons, first class star, citizenship in the world, communication merit badge, emergency preparedness, first aid, textile, water sports, wilderness survival, and then special awards cyber chip. And he's been elected to Order of the Arrow and has completed his call out and ordeal. Nikhil Khan has earned the rank of star, and for merit badges, archaeology, chemistry, energy, first aid, painting, shotgun shooting, sustainability, textile, and water sports, and as a special award, cyber chip. Nikhil?
Thanks. Good job.
Jack Goldberg, archaeology merit badge, archery, aviation, chemistry, energy, family life, railroading, textile, truck transportation, and wood carving. Anish Sinha, ranks of second class and first class, merit badges, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world, communications, electronics, energy, fingerprinting, painting, sustainability, textile, and truck transportation.
Next, we have Adil Khan, who has earned the rank of Scout and Tenderfoot, and merit badges include chess, citizenship in the world, climbing, communication, fingerprinting, geology, music, painting, rifle shooting, swimming, and textiles. William Bishop Moat, who has earned the rank of tenderfoot and second class, and for merit badges, archaeology, chemistry, fingerprinting, mammal study, painting, textiles, theater, truck transportation, and wilderness survival. Neil Gibbons, who has earned the rank of Scout and Tenderfoot, for merit badges, archaeology, archery, chemistry, fingerprinting, music, painting, pottery, and textiles. Matthew Hurley, who has earned the rank of second class. Merit badges include citizenship in the world, communication, electronics, energy, fingerprinting, painting, textiles, truck transportation, water sports, and wilderness survival.
Eric Anderson, rank life, merit badges, camping, citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, communication, emergency preparedness, family life, first aid, personal fitness, personal management. That's all I can give you. Nathan Bodette, merit badges, archaeology, camping, chemistry, family life, personal fitness, railroading, shotgun, textile, truck transportation. Stuck on that one. This scout wasn't able to be here tonight, Brendan Buckley. He earned merit badges chemistry, citizenship in the world, emergency preparedness, family life, and textile.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations to all the scouts on your rank achievements and your merit badges. I'd like to ask former committee chair and current Troop Eagle Scout Counselor Arlene Graybird to please come forward and help me introduce and receive the members of tonight's Court of Honor. It is now my pleasure to introduce the members of the Eagle Court of Honor. When I call your name, please come forward and take a seat. Greg Goldberg, Lieutenant, Stoughton Fire Department, and committee member of Troop 516, as well as David Graber, past Scoutmaster, Scoutmaster Emeritus, our founding Scoutmaster at the beginning of the troop. Walter F. Timilty, Massachusetts State Senator for Stoughton. Robert O'Regan, Chairman, Stoughton Board of Selectmen. Donna McNamara, Chief, Stoughton Police Department. Jonathan Bunker, President, Stoughton Youth Baseball. Mark Rassicott, past Scoutmaster, Troop 516. Stephen Zorn, Eagle Scout, Troop 516. And Jean Santorelli, Committee Member, Troop 516. It is now my pleasure to introduce the members of the Eagle Court of Honor who are also members of our troop. When I call your name, please stand. Peter Buckley, Committee Member, Troop 516. David Walsh, Committee Member, Troop 516. Adam Anderson, Committee Member, Troop 516. Dr. Arthur Malley, Committee Member, Troop 516. Bill Campanario, Committee Member, Troop 516. And Neil Gibbons, Committee Member, Troop 516. Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the Eagle Court of Honor assembled for this evening's ceremony. Thank you for joining us. With the Court of Honor now assembled, I will turn the program over once again to Senior Patrol Leader Jack Goldberg.
May I please have the lights? This great world of ours has grown darker with all its problems. Many cannot see the right path to follow, so they wander off, taking a wrong turn after a wrong turn. But penetrating this darkness is the light of the spirit of scouting that offers a glimmer of hope for a better world. It is a light that must be kept burning in the heart of every scout, now and as he grows into manhood. All Scouts live by a code of honor known as the Scout Oath. It describes 3 duties each boy promises to accept. The first is his duty to God and country.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country.
The second is his duty to other people.
And to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times.
And the third is his duty to himself.
To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
The light of the spirit of scouting also grows by following the Scout law, every day and in everything Scouts do. The boys will now recite each of the 12 points of the Scout law.
A Scout is trustworthy. The Scout is loyal. The Scout is helpful. The Scout is courteous.
The Scout was kind.
A Scout is obedient.
A Scout is cheerful. A Scout is thrifty. A Scout is brave.
A Scout is clean.
We began in almost total darkness. Now, in the light of these candles, we can see one another well. So it is that the spirit of scouting lights our way as we travel the road to a bright future.
So while they're moving the table, I'm going to tell you a very short story. As you heard, a scout is helpful. A few weeks after my son and I first came over to the troop from the pack, we went on our first camp out. And as the SPL and assistant senior patrol leader at the time were teaching the new scouts how to use an axe and not lose any fingers in the process, the remaining scouts were sent out to gather firewood. And as an adult, when you come into the troop, your main job when you go camping is to sit down and watch. So, sitting down, watching. I don't know if you've ever watched Axemen, but at one point on that show, they would use a mule to drag trees out of the woods. Well, I look up, and Nate's walking through the campsite with about a 2-inch rope over his shoulder and about a 15-foot tree behind him. And he kept gathering wood and gathering wood and gathering wood throughout the day. And he, at one point, looked at me and said, "Do I have enough firewood?" The stack was about 15 to 18 feet long, 5 to 6 feet back, and a good 4 to 5 feet tall. I looked at Nate and said, "Unless you're trying to summon the space station, yes, you have enough firewood." At 2:30 that morning, I found out he did not have enough firewood. It is now my pleasure to introduce Eagle Scout Stephen Zorn, who will give the meaning of the eagle.
Nate, before I begin, congratulations. Something you should be proud of. You'll remember it forever. It takes determination, perseverance, and a love of scouting to achieve the rank of Eagle. Only 5% of all boys in scouting ever reach Eagle. However, the award is more than a badge. It's a state of being. You are an Eagle Scout. Never were. You may receive the badge as a boy, but you earn it every day as a man. Nate, as an Eagle Scout, your family and friends and your troop members will look at you differently from now on. Remember, as an Eagle Scout, your actions will be more conspicuous. People will expect more of you. Your position, as you well know, is one of honor and responsibility. You're a marked man. As an Eagle Scout, you are expected to exemplify in your daily life the high principles and values expressed in the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. This is a great undertaking which you are now just beginning. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. Honor is the foundation of all character. Character is not what you think of yourself, but what you really are deep down inside. It is in everything you do to reflect credit upon your home, family, church, school, friends, and most importantly, yourself. The second is loyalty. Without loyalty, all character lacks direction. An Eagle is loyal to his ideals, his family, friends, and community. Regardless of how rough the road, how difficult the task, or how impossible the situation, you must remain loyal to your cause and purpose and stand by your work, your promises, and your pledges. The third is courage. Courage gives character, force, and strength. Courage has long been a quality by which men measure themselves and others. Face each day with the courage to persevere through life's challenges. The final responsibility is service. The performance of the daily good turn takes on new meaning when you enter adulthood. The Eagle also indicates that you are now an elite member of an esteemed group of world citizens. Continue with your service to your community and to others. You deserve much credit for having achieved Scouting's highest award, but wear your award with humility, ever mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. Wear your Eagle badge with dignity and pride, and may the Scout Oath and the Scout Law be your guide for tomorrow and onward. I hereby call this Eagle Court to honor. Will the name of the candidate be introduced?
Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce Nathan Joseph Bodette.
Will Neil Gibbons please escort Nathan to the dais? Will Nick Previati please escort Mr. and Mrs. Bodette to the dais? I will now call on Eagle Scout Eric Anderson to present Nathan's scouting history.
Throughout my scouting career, Nate and I have gone on many different adventures. We have grown, learned, and worked together and built foundations for our lives. The lessons we have learned from scouting will now follow us every single day. With 13 years in the making, Eagle Scout Nathan Bodette has been part of the scouting program for almost his entire life. It has taught him many great lessons and provided him with tons of memories that will last a lifetime. I have come before you to talk about some of the notable moments that Nate and I have gone through. One of Nate's most memorable moments as a Cub Scout was winning the Pinewood Derby. When Nate showed up with his car to qualify for the race, he would always bring tools to work on his car in case it did not pass inspection. The first year he competed, he won, and was overcome with joy. We were both standing at the end of the track, our hearts beating like drums, nervous to see who was going to win. Nate's pride in himself in the cars helped him through Cub Scouts, even though it seemed very unlikely that Nate's craftsmanship skills had these craftsmanship skills as an elementary school kid. Another event Nate participated in with Cub Scouts was the Klondike Derby, where we competed in many different events. He was able to show his skills like building fires, tying knots, and the great event of pushing the sled across the field. The small scout would sit in the sled, and all other scouts would push and pull the sled across a huge field. This was a true test of power of a bunch of Cub Scouts. This event prepared the boys for the next step, Boy Scouts. One of Nate's first memorable camping trips was Yawgoo in Rhode Island. This was one of the best camping trips for Nate. He ate so much great food from the venison that was brought in the trip, along with playing amazing games of manhunt at night. A great test of athleticism is one's ability to operate in stealth mode in the middle of the night. Being on the same team as Stephen Soren, Stephen had a great idea for hiding Nate in the spot. This was to put him in a huge tree. So Nate was never found and his team won the game. But once the game ended, Nate could not get down. We all heard Nate asking for help from the tree. We walked over to see Nate stuck in the tree. He was then helped down and a new round began, but the trees were now off limits. This trip made Nate feel home in the Boy Scout program. Mass Jam 2013 was also a great time for everyone that went. Nearly 7,000 scouts and no toilets. But Nate seemed to really fit in there. After being handed a deck of collector cards to trade throughout the week, Nate took it upon himself to collect the most cards out of anyone. He traded for the whole day and ended up with enough cards for the whole troop. He loved playing football and other great activities. These events consisted of launching rockets, rock climbing, and human foosball. In the game of human foosball, Nate put it all on the line to win the game for his team, putting himself in danger to make sure the other team did not score. Nate loved the atmosphere of Mass Jam and dreamed of more scouting. Nate also gathered more firewood than anyone, like Paul Bunyan. On camping trips, he would gather a huge supply of wood that far exceeded the adults' expectations. Nate was able to gather more wood than the adults could possibly burn for the entire night. For those who do not know, a high adventure trip is designed to expose scouts to the new elements and have them grow and develop as a group. The boys have to work together to succeed on these trips. These trips often very memorable and very enjoyable. Went on a high adventure trip in sea base. Nathan had one of the best times of his life. However, it was a rocky start. The first stop off the plane on the way to the base was the Chinese food buffet. Nathan, not being a big fan of Chinese food, only ate mandarin oranges, but he was happy with his choices and all set off to the base. At this point, Nate was running with very little sleep, Sour Patch Kids, a few cans of Mountain Dew, and a boatload of oranges, but he was ready to start sailing. As we began to start sailing, there was a lot of work to be done. We had to load up the boat with all types of food and supplies to sail for the next week. For a week straight, we unplugged from technology and had a great time learning to sail, snorkeling on coral reefs, playing cards, and exploring the town of Key West. We also went fishing, and we were trying to catch a big fish. However, we were not able to bring one in. Whenever we played cards after a long, hot day of swimming and sailing, Nate would always fall asleep and wake up right before dinner. It was as if he had an alarm that would tell him when it was time for dinner, and he would automatically wake up. All the guys on the boat ate so much throughout the day, the crew told us to stop eating or we would run out of food for the rest of the week. The rest of the trip was smooth sailing, and we remember a great day in Key West, taking in everything it had to offer. This trip was something Nathan will never forget throughout his entire life. A final special memory of Nate's was summer camp. The whole week was spent with his friends to be homework-free, enjoying summer and life in general. He could relax and do what he loved. The first time Nate went to summer camp, he earned 7 merit badges. This was a record for the most badges in a week that still holds today. He would sit at lunch and plan out his time to the minute, trying to fit in as many badges as he could. As years went on, Nate focused on finishing his Eagle Scout badges at camp, and then took badges purely for fun. He took up shooting sports and finished King of the Range, a rifle, scoring 48 out of 50 and getting 5 shots in a dime. Another great activity for Nate was participating in Order of the Arrow, the tap-out ceremony. Once Nate was tapped out, he began to volunteer for the Order of the Arrow. I'd like to tell you more about the Order of the Arrow, the Scouts National Honor Society, but I can't. Nathan's scouting experience was nothing less than amazing. He loved most of it, besides the parts of having to wash dishes, clean up trash, or clean up the latrines at camp. But besides those, Nate loved scouting and everything it had to offer. His mindset on life was changed. He found out what he liked to do and what he discovered and who he was as a person. Nate and I grew closer and closer through the scouting program and built a bond that will last forever.
This time I'd like to ask Neil Gibbons to come forward and give the Eagle Charge.
Thank you, Bill. So last week during rehearsal for tonight's ceremony, Steve asked me if I was all set writing the Eagle Charge. I looked at him blankly and said, "What?" He said, "Eagle Charge, are you ready?" I looked at Nate and he smiled that boyish smile. He said, "Oh, Mr. Gibbons, we need to talk." So Nate's got a lot on his plate right now, so I guess I'm let him slip on this one. So Nate and I talked, but I still didn't know what the Eagle Charge was. So I figured I'd go home and let Google save me. I was wrong. I was still confused. Still, I needed to move forward with this and write this thing. I decided I would just start putting down some words and start writing it my way. I find myself writing some really, really big words, ones that I know Nate's dad, Joe, wouldn't understand. So I had to scrap that approach. So I've decided to use a metaphor to clearly express my thoughts to you all tonight. So here it goes. When my 2 boys were very young, instead of reading a bedtime story, I would challenge them in various ways. Sometimes I would whistle oldies music and have them guess the title and artist of the song. Other times I would change it up and test them on the steps on how to build a house. I would say, once you have the blueprints and of course a permit, what is the first thing you do?
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole. You dig the hole and then you
Pour the foundation.
pour the foundation. After the foundation, sill plates. And for each level with the various room designs, floors and walls go in. Finally, you put on the roof to make it watertight. I'm sure Joe, who builds houses for a living, is cringing inside at some of these simple steps, but let's go with it. So once the roof is on, the real fun begins. Now you get to make the house your own. You get to select the lighting, paint colors, the type of granite, style of doors, windows, and the list goes on. Old folks like me might like a bungalow, you might like a contemporary, others like a beach house or country style. Younger folks might like an industrial style. Nate, today is the day the fun begins for you. Your mom and dad, Joe and Judy, they had a blueprint for you for building you when you were first born. And part of that was building the strongest foundation possible. They did an amazing job. They really did. You are an amazing young man any of us would be proud to have as a son. The other tiers on top of your foundation have been built over the last 18 years by your mom and dad, as well as family, friends, school, and in large part, Boy Scouts. Instead of sill plates and walls and rough plumbing, you've been formed into a person of great intelligence, compassion, determination, honor, and respect. Boy Scouts has reinforced the 12 values of the Scout Law. It has been as much a constant in your life just as friends, school, and athletics have been. You've worked your way from that little boy entering Cub Scouts, working through the Cub ranks, until achieving your arrow flight. You crossed over to Boy Scouts, and through dogged determination, you achieved the rank of Eagle Scout, Boy Scouts' highest level, which is attained by only 5% of all Scouts. This means that the house is now watertight. The roof is on, but the details on what the final product will look like is up to you. You get to decide from here on out where you go with it and what it looks like. I have every confidence you will be a proud structure, one that will stand for generations. You will be strong and endure. You will stand out and lead in your community in which you live. Others will look up to you and use you as a model to which they strive. You will not be pretentious or arrogant, yet you will maintain a level of stateliness. You will have charm, warmth, and will be welcoming to others, always open to your neighbors in times of need. There will always be room for improvement, but not at the risk of taking away from what is really important, the family core. I know your structure will not be a cold shell, but a sanctuary of compassion, laughter, ideals, and love. I do have some suggestions for your future structure, if you'll allow me. Include a small library or study. Learning is a never-ending proposition, so always expand your mind and challenge yourself. One of my favorite quotes is by Mahatma Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Also, I recommend a large yard or wraparound porch. Life can be hard sometimes. Get outdoors, slow down, take a deep breath, and enjoy nature up close. Install lots of windows and keep a few mirrors inside. These will help you maintain a clear vision of the world around you, while you can also reflect upon yourself. Try to see the good in others, and don't be too hard on yourself. Include a fireplace. This keeps your heart warm and body calm. Always find time and a place for relaxation and peace. Last and most importantly, build a very large shed for all of your toys. Life gets busy as you get older, so enjoy each day to its fullest and have fun. Tomorrow is not promised. Regarding having fun, I have another good quote by someone you all know. His name is Rob Gronkowski. Back in 2012, in an interview with ESPN Sports, Rob so eloquently uttered the words, "Yo soy fiesta," which translates to, "I am party." So I think you get the idea. Don't take your life too seriously and have fun, just not as much as Gronk. Soon you will embark on your journey to college, have your own career, and maybe someday have a family of your own. You will have to design and redesign blueprints for your future and even the future of your own children someday, far, far down the road. Right, Trudy? I know those designs, present and future, will be drawn with precision and founded with the same values that you have learned so earnestly and carry so proudly before us today. Your mom and dad put together your design. The community and Boy Scouts of America made some minor improvements, but today, Nate, today is your day. I charge you to take flight and soar like an eagle, beyond our community, to live dreams beyond any of our imaginations. On behalf of my family and me, thank you for allowing us to participate today. Congratulations, Nate Bodette. And thank you for being a treasured part of our life. You will always be welcome in our humble nest.
So for those that do earn Eagle, it's a process that begins day one when they're in Boy Scouts, from working their way up through the ranks of today's Scout, when Nate first joined was Tenderfoot, second class, first class, Star in life. And as part of the final process to earn the Eagle, you have to come up with a project to benefit your community. You become essentially a project manager as you are planning that. Nate and all the Eagles before him, all the Eagles after him have gone through the same process. You submit that for approval. Once it's approved, you then have to raise the funds. You get the funds, now you got to go out and do the labor, or get your friends, family, and your troop to do the labor. Nate's project actually was two parts. At the T-ball field, he built a mini green monster because he thought the little guys never get as much attention as the big guys. There's that compassion again. And firefighter Victor Melendi died in a house fire in Stoughton back in, sorry if I get the date wrong, I believe it was 1995. 1995. There's a memorial to firefighter Melendi at the baseball complex that over the years had become a little bit worn. So Nate decided that that would be part of his project. So if you get the opportunity during baseball season or anytime the gate's unlocked, take a ride by, take a look at the memorial, take a look at the mini green monster out there in left field for the T-ball field. Would Scoutmaster Steve Comeau and Arlene Graber please come forward to present the Eagle Award to Nate?
Would Nathan Bodette and his parents please stand? And could Mrs. Bodette please pin the pin on Nate? And Mr. Bodette will present Nathan with the Eagle Scout certificate. Nate will present his mother with flowers and a mother's pin. And Nate will present his father with a father's pin. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present our newest 516 Eagle Scout, Nathan Joseph Bodette.
At this time, I will now ask individual members of the Court of Honor to come forward to honor Nathan for his accomplishments. To present a proclamation from Governor Charles Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito is David Graber, former Troop 516 Scoutmaster.
This is addressed to Eagle Scout Nathan Joseph Bodette, Troop 516, Stoughton, Massachusetts. Dear Eagle Scout Nathan, congratulations on the great milestone of earning the honor of the Boy Scouts Eagle Scout Award. Rising to the rank of Eagle Scout is a remarkable accomplishment, requiring hard work and principled dedication to service, community, and leadership. These are attributes essential to improving our shared civic life. You, your family, and each member of Troop 516 should be very proud. With this honor, Nathan, you join a company of distinguished Americans, including congressmen, governors, astronauts, company executives, and other public citizens. You are an example for your community, and your efforts, as well as those of your troop, help us all look forward to a bright future. Signed, Charles D. Baker, Governor, Karen E. Polito, Lieutenant Governor. On a personal note, I'd like to say that I've known Nate since he was the age of our newest scouts here, and it's been, as always, a pleasure watching him grow as a scout, and up to the point where I reviewed him for first aid merit badge when he was somewhat smaller than he is now, and see him rise to this occasion.
Thank you, Mr. Graber. And with a presentation on behalf of himself, as well as Louis Kafka and William C. Galvin, I'd like to introduce State Senator Walter F. Timmelty.
Good evening. First of all, thank you to Reverend Cho for hosting us today in this beautiful house of worship. Thank you, Reverend. It's a privilege to be here tonight with my colleague in government, Bob O'Regan, Chief McNamara, Captain Goldberg, and of course, our scout leaders, Mr. and Mrs. Bodette. Congratulations to you and to our new Eagle Scout. Congratulations, all our Eagles, and the great town of Stoughton. Tonight, it's my privilege to be here on behalf of Lou Kafka and Bill Galvin, who have both had family commitments, and myself. In both the House and Senate, Lou and Bill offered a resolution. I offered a citation in the Senate honoring you, Nathan, for your great works. I've said this before, and I am happy to say it again. Scouting, whether it be Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, are the finest institutions we have for young people in America, in my estimation. Our Eagle Scouts are emblematic of that and are the cream of the crop. So, Nathan, if you will come forward, please. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. Embarrass you with praise. And I am very impressed, by the way, with your projects. First of all, building a mini green monster, and who doesn't love the Red Sox in Fenway Park for our Stoughton Little League, which is a wonderful program, and to honor one of our fallen firefighters, firefighter Victor Melendi, who obviously gave his life for every citizen of the Commonwealth back in 1995. So thank you very much for what you've done to honor Victor Melendi's legacy, our firefighter, and of course, to help a great Little League get even better. I'll start off with a resolution from the House of Representatives, and it states, whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette is a distinguished member of Boy Scout Troop 516 and has earned the respect and admiration of his family, friends, and fellow Scouts, as well as members of his community and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and whereas the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout, the highest honor bestowed upon a Scout by the Boy Scouts of America, will be presented to Nathan on Friday, January 18th, 2019, and whereas Nathan is to be commended for setting a superb example for other youth in his troop, in his community, through his continued involvement with the Boy Scouts of America and Troop 516, and whereas to earn the Eagle Scout rank, the highest advancement rank in Scouting, a Boy Scout must fill requirements in the areas of leadership, service, and outdoor skills, and whereas Nathan has successfully advanced through the ranks of the Boy Scouts of America, tenderfoot second class, first class, Star, Life, and Eagle Scout through the passage of tests organized by meeting specific requirements and obtaining merit badges. And whereas enlisting the help of your fellow Scouts and friend Nathan, Eagle Scout project involved constructing a mini green monster for the Stoughton Little League and restoring the memorial to fallen Stoughton firefighter Victor Melendi in the town of Stoughton. Therefore be it resolved that the members of the Massachusetts House of Reps hereby join with the community of Stoughton, members of Boy Scout Troop 516, family and friends, in honoring and commending Nathan for his outstanding achievement and exemplary efforts in earning the Eagle Scout rank. Resolved that a copy of these resolutions be forwarded by the Clerk of the Mass House to Nathan Joseph Bodette. Congratulations, Nathan. Nathan, this week, along with Rep. Kafka and Rep. Galvin, I offered this citation to the Massachusetts State Senate, so you are in the records now of both bodies for your wonderful achievement. This citation states, Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate, official citation, Nathan. Be it known that the Massachusetts State Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Nathan Joseph Bodette in recognition of your outstanding achievement in attaining the highest rank in Scouting, Eagle Scout. And be it further known that the Massachusetts State Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, Nathan, as this is not an ending, it's truly a beginning, and great things are expected from you. That this citation be duly signed by the President of the Massachusetts State Senate and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. It has been signed by our Senate President, Karen E. Spilka, attested to by our Senate Clerk, Michael Hurley, and offered by myself, Walter Timmelty. Congratulations, Nathan. I'm very proud of you.
And to present a certificate of special congressional recognition, as well as a certificate for the flag of the United States of America, I'd like to ask Peter Buckley to come forward to present that on behalf of Stephen Lynch.
Thank you. It's about time, Nate. On a small note, I do want to recognize a couple of things from the things that have been said. Eric made a good point out here, giving up on your history. And the one thing you got to, if anybody's ever seen a Pinewood Derby, it's pretty comical, but a boatload of fun. But to go a little further with Nate, Nate was not the only one that brought his tools to this. His father would back the truck up to the back door, and you can hear little power tools going off outside. So needless to say that Nate won quite a bit. And on another note, again, what was said about the high adventure trip. It was said it was said earlier that now becoming an Eagle, people are going to look at you differently. Spend 5 days on an 80-foot schooner with this kid. We all look different at him now. So on that note, Nate, thank you for the honor of coming up here to present these certificates. The first one, Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition, presented to Nathan Joseph Bodette upon your attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout and the Boy Scouts of America, dated today, January 18th, 2019, signed by Stephen F. Lynch, Congressman. Along with that, the Congressman has also sent down an American flag, and the flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol. This flag was flown at the request of the Honorable Stephen F. Lynch, Member of Congress, for Eagle Scout Nathan Joseph Bodette on his ceremony, January 18th, 2019. That's all I got for you, kid.
At this time, I'd like to ask Troop 516 Committee Member Mark Rassicott, who's also one of our former Scoutmasters, to present a letter and certificate from United States Senator Elizabeth Warren.
First, the important stuff. Congratulations. This is great. And my son John sends his congratulations. He couldn't be here. He's at Northern Tier Boy Scout Camp in northern Minnesota, teaching winter camping skills. So you got a job out there if you want it. Okay, from the 116th Congress, the Honorable Elizabeth Warren recognizes Nathan Joseph Bodette, Eagle Scout. I am pleased to join your family, friends, and the rest of Boy Scout Troop 516 in congratulating you on receiving your Eagle Scout Award. This is the highest honor bestowed by the Boy Scouts of America, and it represents strength of character and knowledge, as well as a commitment to your community. Congratulations once again on your outstanding achievement. Elizabeth Warren, United States Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Rassicott. I'd like to ask Troop 516 Committee Member David Walsh at this time to present a certificate of special congressional recognition and a letter from Senator Edward J. Markey.
Congratulations, Nate. I have a citation, congressional recognition from Edward Markey. Dear Nathan, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on becoming an Eagle Scout, the highest honor a young man within the Boy Scout organization can hope to achieve. I know that it requires a great deal of determination, hard work, and faith in your capabilities to attain this high rank in Scouting. I believe that your outstanding accomplishments reflect not only on you, but also on your family and your community. Our heritage finds its roots in a strong personal dedication to American ideals and a healthy spirit of achievement through self-motivation. The Eagle Court of Honor pays tribute to a select group of Americans in Scouting who commit themselves to those ideals and work to master a broad range of useful skills and subject designed to foster outstanding citizenship. The goals that you have achieved in order to become an Eagle Scout have supplied you with a unique perspective of what it means to become an American in a world where freedom has become a scarce and cherished privilege. As your senator, I am proud of what you have achieved, and I am confident that the energy, talent, and motivation you have demonstrated will serve you well in all your future endeavors. But above everything else, I want you to remember that you will always be an Eagle Scout. Your reputation for excellence will be earned every day in all your deeds for your family, your community, and your country. Keep up all the good work. Sincerely, Edward J. Markey, Senator. So I would like to take a personal note, if I could. When you entered Scouting, I knew you were destined to become an Eagle Scout. I just saw it coming. So some Scouts, you come in and you can tell who's going to become an Eagle. So I appreciate you allowing me to come here for your Eagle Scout and reading a citation. And the other thing is, I'm your father's suit. I can't figure that out. I've never seen him in a suit before. I'm really struggling with that part.
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask Robert J. O'Regan, Chairman of the Stoughton Board of Selectmen, to come forward.
Good evening. It's good to be back. Our son was in Troop 516, and being back, I'm afraid to say how long ago that was. This is just a tremendous organization. Congratulations to you, Mr. and Mrs. Bodette. Congratulations to you. The three of you should be very proud of today. I'm here on behalf of the town to tell you your town is proud of you. Reverend Cho, to the church, thank you for sponsoring the troop all these years. Scouting is such a big part of the lives of these boys and such a big part of the life of the community. That's not possible without the sponsorship of the church. And to all the adults who make the program possible. The program isn't possible without you and your commitment and your dedication to the Scouts over many years. It's a contribution you make to your community. You earned 3 citizenship merit badges: citizenship in the community, citizenship in the nation, and citizenship in the world. The common word, citizenship, over and over again. And each one of these aspects, citizenship by the church in the community, citizenship by the Scout leaders in having this operate, citizenship in the Eagle projects you undertook, in restoring the memorial to our fallen firefighter. All aspects of citizenship. And we need that, don't we? We need citizenship. And so let me pass on a charge, if I may, from your Board of Selectmen. Go have a blast. I just have a question. What's your birthday? When was your 18th birthday? And your Eagle Scout, your Board of Review Day, when was that? Wow, our son's birthday was about an hour after his review. So congratulations on getting it done. And you're turning 18, you're going to college, and you're planning on having fun. That's one of those questions there's no wrong answer, but the right answer will get you in trouble. But please, remember how important citizenship was, and learning about citizenship and practicing citizenship and earning this rank. And when you participate in your adult community, which I hope takes a long time to get to, because once you're in it, you're stuck and you can't get out of it. Remember all the citizenship that came to play to get you here to be an Eagle, and take as a model all the aspects of citizenship you've seen in the adult leaders, in the church and the church leaders that make this position possible, and in the community that helps it work, and give back. There's so many ways to practice citizenship, and so many different times in your life that you'll be able to do it. My own belief is that's the responsibility of Eagle Scouts. I was an Eagle Scout. No, I wasn't. See, there's my mistake. I was 1 merit badge short. And I look back and say, I wish if I could, I would do it different. The excuse I give is it was at the height of the Vietnam War, and of all the things you could be involved in, Scouting was not one of the good ones. And so I didn't achieve it. Our son, I'm proud to say, did. And I wish I had. But what I learned through Scouting and citizenship left a big impression on me. And what I saw in your community projects with it's kind of fun, the Greenwell, but that's a big citizenship thing because you've drawn the community and the leadership you showed. So that's what I'd ask you to do. Your Board of Selectmen is proud of you, and they asked me to come tonight and read you a proclamation, which I think the boys used to refer to as it's time for the whereases. So A proclamation for the town of Stoughton, whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette has worked diligently through the years to earn the 43 merit badges and was his troop's senior patrol leader, and whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette has demonstrated his leadership among his peers and commitment to his community through his service project that involved constructing a mini green monster for the Stoughton Little League. And whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette led a group of several adult scouts and friends to help restore the memorial to fallen firefighter Victor Melende, in addition to solicitation of donations, he organized a fundraiser at their Chateau restaurant to cover the expense of this project. And whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette has set a wonderful example for other boys in his troop and the community as a whole. And whereas Nathan Joseph Bodette is a credit to his family, his troop, and his community, now therefore we, myself, Michael T. Sullivan, Stephen M. Cavey, Richard C. Hill, and Christine Dean Howe, all members of the Stoughton Board of Selectmen, extend our best wishes and express the pride of the entire town of Stoughton in the accomplishments of Nathan Joseph Bodette and congratulate him on the occasion of his Eagle Court of Honor. This proclamation is given in Stoughton on this 18th day of January in the year of our Lord, 2019. So thank you, and thank you for working so hard to give the town a chance to be so proud of you.
Thank you. Can I ask Chief Donna McNamara of the Stoughton Police Department to come up and present a certificate of recognition from the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joseph F. Dunford, United States Marine Corps.
Everybody before me is a little taller, so I get to adjust the mic. I'd like to take a minute just to thank and honor Nate for the opportunity to sit on his board and to honor him today before I read his recognition letter. His projects are going to bring great joy to the young kids that are going to play at the Little League. Some of the adults in the room may have been fortunate enough to grow up in this town like I was and play in those Little League fields. I enjoyed every minute of it. I watched my father work on those fields and has brought great joy to many, many youth, and his project's going to do that for the young in this town, and I'm very fortunate to be part of today's celebration. Your commitment, your dedication, your management, and hard work is going to bring joy to kids in this community, and we have a great community here, and those characteristics are what we look for in adults, and we have this in a young man today, and it's great to see and celebrate this today. So I'd like to thank you from myself and the members of the Stoughton Police Department for all your hard work. You've done a great job, and very proud of you. I've been given the opportunity to read this recognition letter, the certificate. The Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff awards this certificate of recognition to Nathan Joseph Bodette, Troop 516. Congratulations on your attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. You join an elite fraternity of young men who have demonstrated the intellectual, moral, and physical fortitude necessary to lead in our modern society. We, who serve in the armed forces of the United States, value the ideals and leadership skills that you have demonstrated by your earning of this prestigious rank. We salute you for this very significant accomplishment in your life's journey. Well done. Presented today, January 18, 2019, from General Joseph Dunford, Jr., U.S. Marine Corps Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Congratulations, and I wish you well in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Chief. I'd like to ask Greg Goldberg of the Stoughton Fire Department and also a committee member of Troop 516 to come up.
Well, Nate, this is truly an honor. I first met you and your dad and mom at these Little League fields, and the Gus Wood and the Giles fields, as you were playing t-ball. And I truly grew to respect your father in a way that I was the head coach of the team, and when I broke my leg, he was thrust into service as the new head coach of the team, and I became a third base coach sitting in a chair with crutches and telling the kids to go home as they got thrown out all the time. But to see the project at the Little League fields, I spent a lot of years with my 5 children at the Little League fields, and now Stoughton Youth Baseball, and the project is absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen it, take a moment to go up there to see what he's done. Second to me, and more importantly, was the memorial to Victor Melendi. I had the honor of working with Victor Melendi, and you have many of the characteristics of Victor. When I started on the fire department, Victor was a 17-year veteran. I started in 1989, and Victor started in 1972. And Victor mentored me by his example. I didn't have the honor to be on the same group as Victor. He was on Group 1. I started out on Group 4. But when you worked with Victor, you knew the job was going to get done. He was the first guy in the morning to check his seat on the apparatus to make sure he was ready for the job. And he was an example to all of the young firefighters on how to do the job. And watching you grow as a scout and watching you do this Eagle project, you showed leadership, showing many of these young scouts what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to be a scout and an Eagle. And your leadership truly shined on the day the memorial was rededicated. For those of you who don't know, the memorial was put in place some years ago. I was on the board of directors, and it was put on for Little League, and it was put on a few years before I was there. And over time, some of the things become in disrepair, and they get repaired. And he did a great job. And the firefighters were invited to come, and firefighters retired and present came, and we were all astounded on the work he did. I had the honor of helping you, and I truly appreciate what you have done to carry on the honor of Victor, who meant so much to all of us and meant so much to me as a mentor. So, on behalf of the Stoughton Firefighters Local 1512 and the Stoughton Fire Department, I personally thank you. Now I need glasses. I typed this a little bit too small. To Nathan Joseph Bodette, the members of the Stoughton Fire Department would like to congratulate you in accomplishing Scouting's highest rank, the rank of Eagle Scout. Earning the rank of Eagle Scout takes leadership, hard work, planning, and dedication, and honors you, your family, and the members of Troop 516 and the Mayflower Council. Your Eagle Scout service project consisted of several improvements to the Stoughton Youth Baseball Complex, including the addition of a mini green monster at the Giles Field. And the second part of your project was of special significance to the members of the Stoughton Fire Department, both past and present: the restoration of the memorial erected in the memory of fallen Stoughton firefighter Victor Melendi. This act is the definition of what it is to be reverent, which is defined as showing deep and solemn respect. We are forever grateful for your preserving the memory of our fallen brother, firefighter Victor Melendi. The project had you lead volunteers, which included Boy Scouts, family members, and friends in such activities including the construction and placement of a green monster, moving the memorial, building and planting a bed, planting flowers, and other additional support tasks. Your project is now a permanent part of the Stoughton Youth Baseball Complex, which will be there for many years for all to enjoy. In the future, continue to use the lessons that you have learned in scouting, such as the Scout Law and the Scout Oath. Much of what you have accomplished in scouting is held within these phrases that are recited at troop meetings. If you go back to them in your future, you will begin to see what you have just accomplished is just the beginning of the good things to come. Congratulations, Chief Michael K. Laracy, Stoughton Fire Department. And a certificate of recognition presented to Nathan Joseph Bodette in attaining Scouting's highest rank, the rank of Eagle Scout. This accomplishment takes leadership, hard work, planning, and dedication, and honors you, your family, Troop 516, and the Mayflower Council, and is an inspiration to the citizens of Stoughton and the members of the Stoughton Fire Department. On this 18th day of January 2019, Chief Michael K. Laracy.
I'd like to ask Jonathan Bunker, President of the Stoughton Youth Baseball, to come up for a presentation.
I'd like to say thank you for having me and congratulations on this unbelievable life achievement. This letter I'm going to read is on behalf of the entire Stoughton Youth Baseball community. It is my pleasure to inform you that Nathan Joseph Bodette of Stoughton Boy Scout Troop 516, sponsored by the First United Methodist Church of Stoughton, recently earned his Eagle Scout Award. Nathan's Eagle Scout service project was to construct a mini green monster at Stoughton Youth Baseball Complex. In addition to that, he also restored the memorial for fallen Stoughton firefighter Victor Melendi. Before being able to do any of his work, Nathan had many tasks that he had to organize, plan, and implement. He solicited donations as well as organizing a fundraiser at the Chateau restaurant in order to cover the expenses of the project. Next, he led a group of adults, scouts, and friends in completing both projects. This impressive project was a significant achievement for this young man, requiring many hours of leadership, work, and dedication. He has set a wonderful example for other boys in his troop and the community as a whole. The mini green monster is constructed on Giles Field, which is one of our instructional fields. I was able to see firsthand this past season, as my own son's games, our community's reaction to this project. These children are playing the sport of baseball for the first time, and they loved looking out in left field like it was a piece of Fenway in their own town. Many of the teams that won their league championship took trophy pictures with the green monster as their backdrop. I'm sure this will be a popular backdrop for many years to come. 10 days from today will mark the 24-year anniversary of when our community lost Stoughton firefighter Victor Melendi in the line of duty. We memorialize in order to never forget, but over time, the elements of weather have taken its toll. The Victor Melendi Memorial at the base of the complex flagpole got the restoration it needed and rightfully deserved. Thank you to Nathan and his volunteers for never forgetting those that put their lives on the line to keep our lives safe. During Nathan's career in scouting, he earned 43 merit badges and was his troop's senior patrol leader. He's currently a senior at Stoughton High School and intends to pursue a career in mechanical engineering. The Stoughton Youth Baseball League thanks him for his service project and wishes him well in all his future endeavors. Nate, thank you for everything you've done for the Stoughton community.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'd like to introduce Dr. Arthur Malley with a presentation from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
You know, it was about 25 years ago that I first met Joe and Judy. And I don't know if it's just me, but in the past 25 years, it seems like Judy has aged like 2 years. It's unbelievable. Then there's Joe. Joe, have you been able to hear any of the ceremony tonight? You know, Joe considers himself quite the outdoorsman. I don't know. I was on a camping trip with him once, and we're walking down a trail. I noticed a dead bird in the middle of the trail, and Joe seemed oblivious. So as we approached, I said, "Joe, there's a dead bird." Joe said, "Where? Where?" It's my privilege to present the NASA accommodation, and in the interest of time, I'll edit it and just read the following. To Nathan Joseph Bodette, Eagle Scout, your dedication and commitment to the ideals that the Boy Scouts of America represent will serve you well as you help lead the next generation of explorers.
with presentations from Richard Washburn, the National Commodore of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary, and a presentation from Edward W. Thomas, Jr., Brigadier General, United States Air Force. I'd like to ask Adam Anderson, Troop 516, committee member, to come up.
I have also had the privilege of watching Nate grow up from a very young age, and it really has been awesome to watch him grow up from a very young scout into the young man that he has become. We've heard what a great scout Nate is. We all know that. And I can tell you that he's also a great friend. And Tina, my wife, and I are very thankful that our son Eric has had a friend like Nate to grow up with. So thank you. And congratulations and great job. I now have two letters that I'm going to read. The first is from the National Commodore of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. Dear Nathan, on behalf of over 30,000 members of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary, congratulations on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. This is a very significant accomplishment and award in which you can take a great deal of pride. As an Eagle Scout, I know that it has taken much hard work and dedication to achieve this rank, and it is very meaningful. In earning your Eagle Scout badge, you have demonstrated outstanding qualities of leadership. Your achievement will inspire other Scouts to become more involved in their communities and follow the path to that of Eagle Scout. Best wishes for even higher honors in the future. Very respectfully, Richard Washburn, National Commodore. I also have a letter from the Department of the Air Force. Dear Mr. Bodette, on behalf of the Secretary of the Air Force, the Chief of Staff, and the men and women of the United States Air Force, congratulations on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Achieving this highest honor is a testament to your dedication, character, and most importantly, leadership. Through outstanding leadership as well as service to your country and community, you have set yourself apart. As an Eagle Scout, you have joined an elite brotherhood filled with men who have gone on to become presidents, government leaders, members of Congress, chief executive officers, and industry giants, distinguished educators, and military commanders. The ideals of scouting are rooted in a set of standards our Air Force members hold dear. We call them our core values: integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. If ever there was a formula for success in life, you will find it in these principles, which truly distinguish great men and women. Enclosed is a certificate of achievement signed by the Secretary of the Air Force and the Air Force Chief of Staff. Please accept this as proof of our admiration for your accomplishment. Congratulations again, and we wish you every success in the future. Sincerely, Edward Thomas, Brigadier General, United States Air Force.
Thank you, Adam. I'd like to ask Gene Santorelli, a committee member from Troop 516, to come forward to make presentations from the National Rifle Association and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
Okay, the first letter I have here is from Dr. Stecker, the district chairman. I would like to sincerely congratulate you on earning the rank of Eagle Scout. Being an Eagle Scout myself, I know this is no small task. It speaks volumes to your ability to set and achieve goals, as well as work as part of a team and lead others. This prestigious of the rank is well known even outside of scouting circles. It is sure to set you apart from others, whether applying to colleges or seeking employment. You will find that your scouting skills give you an adventure with just about everything. Signed, Dr. Stecker. I have a special recognition for Nate. In recognition of your effort and your contribution to for natural resources and conservation, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services is proud of your accomplishment and offer our sincere congratulations. Youth Service Coordinator, U.S. Fishes and Wildlife Services. And the National Rifle Association recognizes Nathan Bodette as an outstanding young American for having earned the Eagle Scout Award, Boy Scouts of America, as well as they gave you a membership for 1 year. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jane. I'd like to ask Tina Anderson, a committee member of Troop 516, to come up to present a letter from Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft and chairman of the Gates Foundation.
Good evening. I'll save my sentiments for later because I might cry. This is addressed to Eagle Scout Nathan Bodette, Troop 516, Stoughton, Massachusetts. Dear Nathan, congratulations on achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. You joined an exceptional group of leaders when you attained this highest rank in the Boy Scouts of America. I know what a long road this must have been for you, obtaining more than 20 merit badges, completing extensive service projects, and exercising your leadership skills to inspire future Eagle Scout candidates. The qualities you demonstrated during this journey will help guide you throughout the rest of your life. Congratulations again on this outstanding achievement and best wishes for the future. Sincerely, Bill Gates, founder and technical advisor, Microsoft Corporation. Nate, I met you in kindergarten. You have been a great friend to Eric, and Judy and I were room mothers in Mrs. Mazzari's class in kindergarten, which was awesome. And we continue to have great times with you now. Just the other day, Eric and his girlfriend Mia were planning to go out to dinner. And I said, "Oh, where are you guys going?" And they said, "Oh, we're going to meet Nate somewhere." I said, "Oh, a date with Nate. That's awesome." So we continue to have a great time. And we've grown to really love your family, Judy and Joe and Nicole. And thank you for allowing me to do this for you.
And I'd like to ask Billy Campanario, Troop 516 Eagle Scout, to come forward with a letter from Mike Rowe, the host of Dirty Jobs, Somebody's Got to Do It, and the narrator of Deadliest Catch.
All right. So before I read this, I'd just like to say, Nathan, I'm proud of you. I'm impressed by your accomplishments as you've grown, but I'll always remember you as that baby-faced little Boy Scout that we tossed around and beat up because he asked us to. So, dear Nathan Joseph Bodette, back in 1977, I got a letter from the President of the United States congratulating me on becoming an Eagle Scout. The letter was printed on thick, creamy paper with my name typed in at the top and Gerald Ford's signature at the bottom, right next to the presidential seal. Very impressive. However, as I studied the president's signature and compared it with those on the bottom of identical letters he had sent to other Eagle Scouts and other troops, I came to the conclusion that I was not holding a personal letter from the President of the United States. I was holding a form letter. Don't get me wrong, Nate. It was a nice gesture, and I appreciated the sentiment. But I decided then and there that if I ever found myself in the position of sending out thousands of letters to Eagle Scouts everywhere, I wouldn't try to fool the recipient into thinking they had received something uniquely personal. After all, Nate, a scout is trustworthy, whether he goes on to become the President of the United States or the host of a show on cable television. Which is why I want to be absolutely clear about the nature of this letter. While I did in fact write every word, I did not write it specifically for you. The truth is, Nate, it was Mom and Dad who wrote your name in the blanks, and it is Mom and Dad who are deeply proud of what you've accomplished on this day, as they should be. The Eagle Award is still a big deal, and congratulations are most definitely in order. However, the only message I can offer a young man I've never actually met is the same advice I received from my dad moments after I received the same honor. Don't get cocky. Contrary to what many have told you, Nate, this award will not change the way people look at you. I'm sorry, but it's true. We now live in a world where everyone seems to get sort of a trophy, and a majority of Americans simply have no idea how difficult or special your accomplishment truly is. But that's not a fact worth bemoaning. Because the truth is, the Eagle Award comes with no magic power or influence. It's simply a recognition of what you've accomplished so far. And while it's true that many Eagle Scouts have gone on to do great things in life, it's also true that many others have not. I know a guy who got his Eagle a couple years before me. His chest literally puffed up and never returned to its normal size. His dad got him into a decent school, and when he finally graduated, he showed off his diploma like it was his first merit badge. Today, he is a miserable, pompous, pain in the butt with no friends, 2 ex-wives, and a job he hates. He still has a football trophy on his mantle next to his diploma and an identical copy of the same form letter from Gerald Ford congratulating him for something he did 35 years ago. Do me a favor, Nate. Don't be that guy. Don't wait for the world to acknowledge your accomplishments. When you're finished with scouting, donate your uniform to the Salvation Army. In a few years, it's not going to fit anyways. Fold up your sash and stow it away somewhere private, along with all the other tokens of what you've done so far. Then roll up your sleeves, get out in the world, and put what you've learned to use. Live the Scout law, remember the Scout oath, and remember, a Scout is clean, but not afraid to get dirty. Mike Rowe. P.S. The signature, though photocopied, is really mine. Congratulations, Nate.
I will now ask Scoutmaster Steve Camo and Eagle Advisor Arlene Graber to come forward to present the troop gift to Nathan.
Nate, would you please join us? Oh, by all means.
Just going to add my own personal congratulations to Nate. I don't know that you all know, but Dave and I are the parents of 4 sons, and I have spent, and he, thousands of hours, not only here in Boy Scout Troop 516, but in all of the baseball fields that exist in Stoughton. And I can remember, I think 1975 was when we first got started, thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful if a boy in our troop could do a project for the Stoughton Little League? And I must say, when I went to see your presentation, I was just so tremendously impressed by the fields, by the work that you did, and your the memorial to Victor Belende. And I've told my boys about your wonderful accomplishments, and they're all anxious to bring their sons here to Stoughton. They don't live, none of them live here in Stoughton, but they all want to come and see our wonderful fields in Stoughton. So, would your parents please stand as well? It gives me great pleasure to get to this point where we can present a gift from the troop and your parents, something that I think you are aware what it is, if you've had an opportunity to pick it out, and we had a little casualty, but it's now in a beautiful condition, And if you would come forward and take the cover off. Be careful. We don't want to do anything more. And if you'd like to pick it up and you can read the citation.
Nathan Joseph Bodette, Eagle Scout, June 28th, 2018, Troop 516, Stoughton, Mass.
And that's the date that Nate actually passed his review to become Eagle Scout. So congratulations. And we wish him...
Well, congratulations.
So it's almost 5 years to the day since I first met Nathan. First saw him at Bloody Friday when my son was in his first year of Wee Blows. For those that don't know what Bloody Friday is, it's a night where the troop puts on first aid skits, Wee Blows come over, hang out, have a good time. As others mentioned, there was something you could tell about him then. My impression that night was he's a feisty one. When I came up into the troop 3 years ago, I was asked to help organize the yard sale in the fall. That is the main fundraiser to pay for our camping trips during the year. And Nate had been in the troop much longer than me, so he knew where he needed to be on that Saturday. Just like everyone else in the troop knows where they need to be on that Saturday. Well, the Friday night before that yard sale, Nate walks up to me and says, "Mr. Mote, I have a problem." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I can't be here tomorrow." He'd signed up for the early shift. I said, "Why?" He said, "I have driver's ed." His father standing behind him, I looked at Nate and said, "That's not my problem. That's your problem." He said again, "I've got driver's ed." "Not my problem. I'll be here. You know where you need to be." Saturday morning, Judy shows up and says, "Hi, I'm Nate." Even though he couldn't be here, he made sure that he had someone that could cover his commitment to the troop. And as we came up to the yard sale this year, I said to Nate, I said, "You've got 6 weeks left. If you want to skip the yard sale this year, no problem." Nate said, "Nope, I'm here till the end." And from the time he earned his Eagle when he passed his board review in June, as far as earning ranks and advancements, there was literally nothing left for Nate to earn in Scouts. The only thing left was for him to contribute to the troop. And he did that all the way through his 18th birthday. He continues to do that now. Thank you. And thank you to Judy for sharing Joe and Nate with us for, well, for me much shorter than many others, but for 2/3 of Nate's life. And what are you guys going to do with Friday nights now? 7:30 downstairs. Don't miss it. At this point, I'd like to introduce our newest Eagle Scout, Nathan Joseph Bodette, who will present his Eagle charge to the troop.
There it is. Good evening, everyone. I would like to start off by thanking a few people that could be here tonight. A special thank you to Mr. Mr. Moe for being the Master of Ceremony, Mr. Goldberg, Mr. Barksdale, Mr. Santorelli, and Mr. Gibbons. And for those who don't know, Mr. Santorelli was my Eagle Scout coach, so he kind of helped me along the way. And I got a special mentor pin for him. So. Another thank you to Kamo and Kelly who could be here tonight. Everything that you guys did made my project possible, so thank you for that. And final thank you to Mrs. Zorn, Mrs. Graber, and Mrs. Buckley. Everything you guys did to help me make it to this point and with the court was amazing. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you guys. And a thank you to my family. Thank you, Mom, for always being there and helping me with everything I need to do. Thank you, Dad, for all the advice about the project, and thank you to Nicole for always keeping me sane from them sometimes. And one last thank you is to Mrs. Goldberg, Jenna, Mrs. Anderson, and Mrs. Camo for helping with everything tonight. It's a big help, and thank you so much. Well, this is it. It's been an honor and privilege to be a part of this troop. I've learned what it means to be a Boy Scout, to help people around me, to be a leader, to be a good person. Looking back and writing this speech, I've noticed everything Boy Scouts has done for me. It has shaped me into the person I am today. It has taught me what I like and what I do not like as much. And don't be mistaken, I love tying knots as much as I do hanging around at summer camp, but most of all, it has taught me who I am. It has taught me to flourish in my strengths and work on my weaknesses. Everyone is good at something. Everyone has something they love to do, and Boy Scouts has the tools you need to find that. Well, you might not have to earn upwards of 40 merit badges to figure out what you like. Everything you do here will help you find that. And it might seem difficult at times. It is. Life is not always a cakewalk, and Boy Scout shows you that. Many times you must roll up your sleeves and get stuff done. So I charge you with the duty that you should make the most out of everything you do here in Scouting and far after. There's something out there for everyone, and Boy Scouts has taught me that. The farther I get involved, the more I found out who I am. Boy Scouts is a different system for everyone. Many people have different angles of seeing the system and what it has to offer, but I promise that it has something for everyone. And I would like to finish off my remarks by saying everyone that I've ever been in Scouting with has changed me into the person I am today, so thank you, and especially my best friend, Neil.
Thank you, Nate. I'd like to ask Stephen Kammeller, Scoutmaster, to come up for a Scoutmaster's Minute, please.
Has it gone quick enough? It's a quick night, almost over, getting close. It is. Well, you've heard it many times, and I want to add to it, and you'll probably hear it a lot more as the days go on. Congratulations. Nice job earning Eagle. It's a lot of work, as we all through the troop have seen and know. And was it 5% that earn it? It's a lot of work, and you do deserve it. Congratulations. I'd like to add to Mr. O'Regan's charge is you're an adult. The troop is here. We're a community. I think the troop would love to have you come back on Friday nights if you have some time and help the Scouts grow to where they can be and the potential you see in them. When a new Scout joins the troop, they are taught the 12 points of the Scout Law, as we saw in the candlelight ceremony earlier. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. When a Scout completes the requirements needed for each rank, they have a board of review. At some reviews, the Scout is sometimes asked the question, if you could remove one of those laws or add one, what would you do? And they have to stop and think for a minute, and they just go, no, I like what's there. I've thought about that question as I've heard different boards ask it, and I would add one. A Scout is a teammate, part of the troop, a group of people that have each other's back. A Scout must do the work if he wants to earn each rank, and there is always the team to cheer him on. When the Scouts of Troop 516 work together as a team to collect enough firewood,
they have the fire for the all night long. The Scouts work together to stay on the correct direction going down the rapids of the Dead River. Most of the time. And even working as a team to get out of an escape room with 5 minutes still left on the hour time limit. Scouts, do your best to work your way through the ranks of scouting. Remember that you have a team of scouts that is willing to work with you, so you can get the best experience of scouting life and maybe even the rank of Eagle.
Excuse me. By earning the rank of Eagle Scout, Nathan joins a very select group of peers in scouting. It is customary at these ceremonies to recognize all of those present who have earned the highest rank in Boy Scouting. I would like to invite all of those who are Eagle Scouts to come to where Jack is standing and introduce yourselves, giving the year of your award and your troop number. Then remain standing in the semicircular area in front of me. We will do this by increasing seniority. Are there any others present who have earned their Eagle Scout rank in the year 2018?
Eric Anderson, Troop 516.
2017? 2016? 2015? 2014?
Billy Campanario, Troop 516, Stoughton. Garrett McCormick, Troop 516, Stoughton.
Anyone that earned their Eagle between 2010 and 2013?
Stephen Zorn, 2012, Troop 516.
And the years 2000 through 2009. There is one gentleman that cannot be here tonight we would like to recognize. Jeffrey Palermo earned his Eagle in 2001 with Troop 516. His project was the sign you see in front of the Stoughton Historical Society, which for the old timers, you'll remember that as being the old Stoughton Library. The sign has stood the test of time even after Jeffrey moved out of Stoughton and moved to Rhode Island. Unfortunately, Jeffrey recently passed away, and we'd like to briefly honor him tonight. Thank you. Anyone from 1990 to 2000?
Christopher Housen, Troop 88 in Stoughton, 1999.
Anyone from the 1980s, 70s, 60s? Do we have any other Eagles with us tonight?
Dave Graber, 1954, Troop 7, North Miami, Florida.
Gentlemen, thank you. Please be seated. we've reached the point in the evening where it's almost time to eat. I'd like to thank everyone for joining Nathan, the troop, and his family tonight. There are a few people behind the scenes we'd like to thank as well, but before we get to that, you've heard mention of many names tonight that are involved in scouting in Stoughton presently or in the past or still in some shape, form, or fashion. With Mr. and Mrs. Graber, with Mr. Fred Barksdale in the back, with Mr. Rassicott, Mr. Comeau, Mr. Walsh, you have centuries of service to this town and its boys. We are very, very fortunate to have their support and the support of the First United Methodist Church. Thank you. And working behind the scenes tonight to help make this go off mainly without a hitch, Joanne Goldberg, who helped the Bodettes organize the refreshments, which we will get to soon. Thanks, of course, to the Bodette family for putting this together, planning the evening. Arlene Graber, Debbie Zorn put a tremendous amount of effort into the night, and Debbie was pulled out of retirement for Nathan. Lisa Buckley and Arthur Malley have also worked very hard to organize the ceremony, and I'd like to thank them as well. I would ask you to remain remain in place as the colors are retired and the troop marches down the aisle. If you've not already done so, please take a moment to sign the guest book at the front entrance before you head downstairs for refreshments. Please join Nathan and his family in the gymnasium for a reception and refreshments and a slideshow of 36,000 pictures, I think it was. Okay. Immediately following the conclusion of this ceremony, I would like to call upon Troop Chaplain Aide Neil Gibbons to offer a closing prayer at this time.
Our Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessing on the families in our troop and our honored guests. As we leave here tonight, some of us will be heading in new directions. May you guide and direct us to be the best we can be. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Color guard to your post to retire the colors.